And okay, so welcome everyone. This is, a new event we're trying to do. Me and Codex are going to talk, a little bit about everything crypto. We're going to go over our latest edition of our newsletter. We're going to go over an indicator that Codex just sent me, and we're going to go over MicroStrategy selling Bitcoin. So yeah, that's it. So Codex, what do you want to start with? Talking about Elrond, talking about MicroStrategy, talking about your indicator. What do you want to do first?
Yeah, EGLD has been like on a rampage this market cycle, and so we decided to talk about it, to cover some stuff, because like it has been quite controversial. I think they've had a lot of issues, but overall it was I think, in my opinion at least, it was a great year. The latest thing they've done is like the e-money license. They've got an e-money license, a European e-money license from the National Bank of Romania, which will enable them to create stable coins. That's a good thing, I think. Like, for example, if you look at Terra, which is the company behind like Luna and USD, they have mainly grown because of like their stable coin. And I think if Elrond brings something like that to the table, where they bring a new stable coin, a new fully decentralized stable coin, that could be revolutionary. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, but it does, makes me question a few things. Like, for example, would it be like fully decentralized, or would it just be like an alternative to Tether, a kind of centralized stablecoin? How decentralized would it be if it isn't, in the hands of this Elrond Foundation? I don't know how exactly their inner workings are.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. Like, Elrond claims to be fully decentralized, but like their major decentralized exchange, which is their like official DEX, has like turned off. It went down multiple times last year, especially at the end when the price went from basically $200 to an all-time high of 560 US dollars in just like 2 to 3 months. And so like it makes us question if Elrond is as decentralized as it claims to be. Because if an exchange goes down multiple times a month and it looks like our funds in that process, we can't say that it's fully decentralized. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, at least.
Yeah, because I mean, exactly as you said, if you have an exchange going down, that usually means that either there are too little validators, or the network is just poorly designed. And I feel like, while they don't prove that they have fixed this issue so far, it does, create the idea that, maybe it's just another one of those altcoins, another one of those billion alternatives to Ethereum, right?
Yeah, Elrond doesn't really have a problem with validators, although the number isn't as high as with Ethereum. I think Ethereum has over 100,000 validators, while Elrond has like 1,000, 1,100. The issue with Elrond is that like the requirements to become a validator is like 2,500 Elrond, which is over 300K. And it's, yeah, that's insane, in my opinion. It's like FTM. FTM has in total like 80 or 75 validators, because the requirements are like 500K in USD value when it comes to FTM coins. And yeah,
that is just
that's a big
right?
issue. Yeah, that's a big issue, I think.
What else? Do you have anything else to talk about? Or why do you think it's, besides this, e-money license, what do you think it brings that is different to the table from all the other alternatives?
Look, this is gonna be quite like, it's quite controversial to say, it's kind of weird to say, but like when I bet on Elrond, I'm mainly betting on the team. Like, when you invest in a project, when you invest in Tesla, for example, Tesla is a big company, but when you invest in it, you are mainly investing in Elon Musk and in his thoughts. When Elon Musk said that he's gonna buy 9% or 9.8% of Twitter shares, people just invested in, although they don't have any fucking idea what he's gonna do. And I think it's the same thing. Benjamin Minko, which is the CEO of Elrond, has claimed and like he has proven over time that he's a good leader. He has helped the project develop a lot of new things. And yeah, I'm mainly betting on him, to be honest. I think Elrond is also building like a lot of new things on their network. They are bringing in new other like several other projects, and that's it. Yeah, that's why I'm investing in it. Like I've
Yeah.
been doing this. I've started investing in Elrond about 2 years ago, and it was mainly because of Benyama, to be honest.
Mhm. Yeah, that's nice. I personally don't have like any investments in Iran, not because I don't believe in it, but right now I just don't think it's time to buy altcoins. And I basically have no altcoins right now because I sold most of them when Bitcoin dropped from 57K. And so, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I think the same thing. I think it's not that good of a time to buy altcoins. Most of my Eldons were bought at about like 17 to $20. So like I'm not thinking about it that much.
mm,
Uh, Even
yeah.
if it drops 50% from now, which would take us to 80, $90, I wouldn't even care that much, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, so let's look at our second topic for the newsletter, which was bear market rallies. And this was the one that I wrote. So, you guys might notice that is a little bit of a better article. Okay. Just kidding. But yeah, so, as crypto trends down ever since we hit that 69K, uh, you know, target, we have seen many little rallies, and within those rallies we see those YouTubers saying that Bitcoin is going to go to the moon and that this was the bottom is in. We saw that happen when we first went to 46K, which was about a 40% move. We saw that happen again when we went to about 48K, which was about a 40% move. And that's just not the truth, because if we go back in time and if we look at the bear market after the 2013 peak, you'll see that we went up even 100%, almost 87%, 40%, and even after that we made new lows. And that happened the same exact way in the 2017, like the bear market after 2017. So we have almost 100% up, 54% up, 46% up. That just happens all the time. And you can see that it doesn't change the trend structure at all. We don't make new highs and we keep making new lows. All right. So, while it's nice, it's comforting to be hopeful, to huff on those hopium gases. It's not necessarily good, because if you think that Bitcoin is going to go to the moon just because we went 40% up, history proves that you're probably wrong. Okay. And yeah, we can see that it's very frequent, and precisely when they happen, the crypto community just gets really fixated on, Bitcoin is a bullish asset. Bitcoin is going to go up forever. We can see some YouTube thumbnails. We can see, is this the best buying opportunity? Am I buying Bitcoin on this dip? Bitcoin is primed for a bullish April. And now we're at, basically the end of April, and it wasn't so bullish at all. And we can see that basically this happened ever since the inception of Bitcoin almost. If we go to the Bitcoin forum posts of 2013 and 2014, you'll see that basically people were reacting the exact same way as they are now. So let's look at some forum posts from 2013. Just give me a second to click on the link here. And these are, the forum posts from around this time here. Okay, so around this peak here in 2014. So you see a lot of, bullish news. So easy Bitcoin market action with this cool Indiegogo project, Bitcoin and regulations, it's really some stupid stuff. So buckle up, Buttercup. So Bitcoin is going to go to the moon now. Bitcoin cannot be hacked. Bitcoin is the best asset in the world. Fiat is trash. You can see basically the exact same sentiments that we see now in 2022, 9 years later. It's basically the exact same thing. And if we go to 2017, 2018, around this time here, right, at this 98% move up, what you'll see is the same thing again. Okay, let's look at it. So crypto business gearing for industrial level, generating Bitcoin. JP Morgan criticized cryptocurrencies that they cannot be printed as weakness, and this is bullish, whatever.
The degen stuff.
Yeah, Bitcoin is the future, you know. It's just,
I mean, it is indeed the future.
yeah.
Like...
I mean, okay, I think Bitcoin over time is going to grow, right? And I think it has proven that already. But just, you know, and you can see even this post here that I couldn't manage to find right now, but you can see this exactly, this post here on February 18th, 2018. One guy said how one Bitcoin will be eventually worth $11 million. So it's basically like the same thing that Bitboy Crypto does today. These guys were doing back in 2018 in those forums. Okay, so it's fair to say that they create some mania faces and whatnot, and that, you know, despite us thinking that it, you know, it's just a pump and dump to trap only the newest of investors, that, you know, these bull traps, they are on a thing that only lasts for a couple of days. It might last for, you know, in this case here, we went up for 5 weeks straight and then reverted back down, right? So it just proves that it's something that can trap basically any investor, even if they are experienced. Okay, so again, let's go back a little bit and let's look first at what they have in common. So let's pay attention first to this script here. And this is basically the rolling measure of correlation between volume and volatility. So when volume is low, usually volatility is also low. And you can see like most of the time, the correlation is above 0.7, meaning that, you know, most of the time, these two things are very well correlated. And why does that matter? Because usually in a bear market, you'll see that the volume is lower. So after we hit this peak here, right? After we hit this peak here, the volume starts decreasing. After we hit this peak here, the volume again starts decreasing, and so on. So usually we see that as time drags on, the volatility of these moves up, these bear market rallies, it also diminishes. So the first rally is usually the biggest one, and then they start getting smaller. Okay, so this is another thing to expect of the bear market rallies. The other thing that they have in common, and that we've talked before, is that they do not change the market structure. So you'll see that they never make new highs. So the high of the first bear market rally is never above the all-time high before it. And then the high of the second one is never above the high of the first one, and so on and so forth. Okay, here you have almost an exception. You have just a tiny bit higher, but you know, that's almost, you know, we can almost ignore that. Again, we can see the same thing in 2018 here. First high, not above the all-time high, and then second high below that, and the third high below that. And it also always makes new lows, okay? What else do they have in common? Well, they follow a few patterns, okay? So, you know, the most well-known one is that usually when price is trending below the 20-week moving average, then that means that, you know, we're in a bearish time. And why does that happen, right? Because why such a random number? Why do you think that? Well, basically, because when you look at Glassnode, right, and they made a study that determined that the likelihood of someone to sell their Bitcoin exponentially diminishes when it gets past 155 days. And 155 days is almost the same number of days that there are in 20 weeks, right? 20 weeks is 140 days. So it's almost the same stuff. And so this basically tracks the, the average price at which the retail investors, the short-term holders, the traders bought in. And so if they are, the average price is above the current price, that means that most of them are in loss. And if the average price is below the current price, that means that most of them are in profit. And bear markets are usually defined by those short-term investors being in a loss. Okay. So yeah, that's it. And that's the explanation behind the 20-week moving average, but it is imperfect, right? Because we are assuming that essentially this moving average is a good approximation for that. And it is kind of, but we have some better tools. Okay. So if you check chain exposed here, you can check all these charts for free. And you have the short-term holder realized price, which tracks on-chain data to calculate that, that price. And you'll see that it fits the data even better. Okay. So you see that in a bull market, it usually serves as support. And in a bear market, it usually serves as resistance. So you can see it here, resistance, 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 resist again. And we can see in a bull market here, it just served as resistance right now. Okay, so we were trending below the short-term holder realized price. You'll see that it hit the basically perfectly level, just $1,000 above it. That's what 1-2%. So yeah, it just started trending in below it again. And I think we'll see basically the same stuff as time goes on and this bear market goes on. Okay. So yeah, that's about it for short-term holder realized price. I have a quick summary for you here. So rallies happen in every single bear market, and because price just cannot go straight down. 100% move up does not necessarily mean that the bear market is over, or even if it lasts 5-6 weeks, it does not necessarily mean that the bear market is over, and that you should stick with trends. So if the market structure is pointing down, if the volume is low and we're below the average price at which retail bought in, so below the short-term holder realized price, it's probably going to continue back down. Okay, so don't be too bullish on crypto while we're trending below this and the volume is low and the market structure is pointing down. Yeah. Also, we had this section here about a couple charts to watch. So this first one was a suggestion.
Hold on. Before we move to the couple of charts like we discussed, yeah, there has been quite this idea about Bitcoin bottoming out lately. And that could be the case. I mean, we don't know what we don't know until we know it, right? But look, I believe, this is my opinion, of course, based on someone that has been in the space for almost 6 years, I would say. I think that we will see new lows this year. Usually when Bitcoin bottoms out, you get, first of all, you get these massive volume spikes, which we haven't had yet. Bitcoin also tends to drop below the fair value line in bear markets. And although it did that like 2 months ago when it dropped below 33K and below 36K, these moves were actually brief. In history, Bitcoin tends to go below the fair value line, which is actually at 38K now, and it spends like several months below it. And also, based on history, we are still far away from our bottom, to be honest. And just by being rational and objective and looking around you at what's happening in the world and looking at inflation, it's obvious that the prices could still drop another 30, 40, or even 50%. It's totally possible. Like inflation is at what in the US, for example, 8.5%, I think, 8.5%. It's at 7.3% in Germany. And yeah, in most developed countries, it's over 6%. And like, how do you expect people to invest? How do you expect people to invest in the stock market and in crypto or in the housing market when everything is on fire? You don't need a PhD to understand this. It's simple. Like just by being rational and objective, you can understand that people don't have money, retail don't have money to invest in the stock market and in crypto. It doesn't make any sense when everything is on fire. And while you will hear this idea that Bitcoin is an inflation hedge, It really isn't. I mean, Bitcoin is down what, 35% now from its peak, while the US dollar is down 8%. So yeah, I mean, following
Yeah.
the Bitcoin Max's narrative, we can also say that the US dollar is much better since it dropped less. It's just simple. Like, people
Yeah.
don't get this. Like, crypto investors can't grasp this idea. And I'm not a crypto bear. Like, I have been investing in the space back in 2017. I'm just rational and objective. Like, I use my brain when investing. It's that simple. Bitcoin is an inflation hedge in the way it's built. Okay, based on programming, yes, it's an inflation hedge since the number of BTC is only 21 million, and it will never surpass that number. But the first thing you have to keep in mind is that BTC is currently inflationary. Okay, since the number is at what, 18.9 or 19 million coins, and it keeps increasing every single day from miners. And what else? Like, BTC has been losing its value against the US dollar. So like, the inflation hedge narrative doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, at least on the midterm. Okay, like long term, in the last 10 years, yes, BTC has outperformed everything. It has outperformed the housing market, the US dollar, the stock market, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, everything. But on the midterm, BTC isn't really an inflation hedge. It's not, like, based on the numbers, it's
Yeah,
not.
exactly. Exactly. I mean, I get so frustrated with those narratives too, because people say that, if the inflation is up, if the Fed publishes news that inflation is up, that Bitcoin is suddenly going to go up. And, that's not how it works, right?
Yeah,
You see
inflation has
no
been only
correlation
going
over
up.
the, yeah, you see no correlation over the short term. Inflation has been increasing as like a
Yeah,
lot, and Bitcoin
it
just
was
goes
at
down.
2%. It was at 2% at the start of last year. I think 2.6%. I'm not really sure, but I think it was at 2.6% at the start of last year in January or February, and it's now at like 8.5 in the US.
Yeah.
So the idea of saying that Bitcoin, we should invest in BTC or in Ethereum or in every cryptocurrency because it's an inflation hedge. It's not. It's really not. Ethereum, for example, it's not. It's not an inflation hedge. When Ethereum 2.0 comes out, it will become deflationary. It's currently inflationary, but it will become deflationary. But now, no, it's not an inflation hedge. Just grasp the idea. It's that simple. You don't need to be smart to understand this.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, now let's look at the couple charts that are a little bit interesting to keep watching, due to the way that I personally watch charts. Like, I do not go below the daily time frame 90% of the time. I do not go below it. So these are not charts that you guys should, keep an eye on like every single minute of the day. Maybe check on it like once or twice a week, and that's about it. Okay, so the first one, it was Codex who pointed this out to me. This is the Solana chart and the Ethereum chart, and you can check two charts at once using this website here called Go Charting. If you want to do it on TradingView, you have to pay, and I'm completely against paying for TradingView. So you can check this one out on this website called Go Charting. And let me just switch to the log scale.
So what's this? Is this another website? So you
Yeah.
want to tell me that my like $30 subscription is worthless?
Yeah, it's for free, dude. I mean, look, I'm completely against paying for TradingView. Okay, I don't want to be
Yeah,
an
but
asshole, but
like you need TradingView when you develop indicators. Like I
yeah,
develop indicators. I think I need like TradingView Pro to
yeah,
like.
yeah. That's a value use, but paying TradingView just because you want more indicators on your chart or because you want to see two charts at once, I don't think that's worth it. Okay, so
You could use the other chart. Like this Coinbase chart has like that long.
yeah, it has the long week, but it's the longest history one in this website. So
Binance also goes back to
but
2016.
weirdly enough, on this website, it doesn't. I
Okay.
checked that. So you'll see that it's very, very similar. Okay, so we have this first rally down here, right? We have this first rally down here. Let me just change the color and the line thickness. So it's better to say. So we have this first rally down here. Same thing with Ethereum. Change it again. Then we have a big move up. And it's not setting it to default, no problem. So we have this big move up here. And we have the same thing on Ethereum. Then we have a little bit of a consolidation, just simmering the pot. Same thing on Ethereum here. And for some reason it did this trade in drawing tool. Okay, then we have the second move up and then heading back down. In the case of Ethereum, it went down a lot. It went down from around $1,400 to about $80. Okay, so we're now at basically the same point on Solana, right? And it makes us wonder, will Solana follow the same path? So will Solana just go in a huge downtrend, basically like that's what 90% plus. Will Solana devalue 90% plus from its all-time high? So it would go basically to what, $20, a little bit below that.
I sent you a better looking chart on Discord if you can pull that out.
Let me see.
Yeah, the chart that I sent you, like I captured it before the move even happened, and I tweeted about it. I said like Solana will reach 120 to 125 to 140 US dollars before the big dump on my Twitter. And like, yeah, someone called me a moron.
And yeah, 140, and now we're going down. So yeah, it makes us wonder, will it follow this exactly? Because Solana is basically an Ethereum competitor. They're marketing themselves as the Ethereum killer. So will it follow the same path of Ethereum? And more importantly, even I would think this is a little bit more important even, will it survive like a 95% downtrend? I don't know. I don't know.
That's gonna be harsh. If we enter a bear market, like people just have this idea that we're not gonna enter a bear market, and I don't know if we're gonna enter one, but yeah, it's gonna be tough to say. In the 2018 bear market, ADA dropped 98%, BTC dropped 84%, Ethereum dropped 94.7%,
yeah,
XRP 92.9. I'm giving you the famous coins back then. XMR, which is Monero, dropped 93%, Litecoin 95%, Tron 97%, Link 89.5%, almost 90%, BNB 85%, EOS 94%. Like you can understand that every cryptocurrency has dropped 90 to 98% back in the 2018 crash. And yes, this market cycle could be much better. It could be much better because we have institutions coming into this space, like MicroStrategy, like Tesla, like Grayscale, a lot of new companies. But lately, like today, we just found out that Michael Saylor, the guy who just told you a week ago in Miami to not sell, he sold 1,500 BTC.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this thread right here. So copy link. Do you have the link for that Twitter thread, or is it just the screenshot?
Yeah, I have screenshots. I can look for the Twitter. Yeah, like people on my Telegram channel are talking about it. Like they're going nuts. It's on.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see.
The dude is selling, man.
Okay, so here it is. I just realized that MicroStrategy has been selling Bitcoin without telling no one. Michael Saylor said he would never do so, but yesterday he sold more than 1,500 Bitcoins. From their main address, Bitcoins have been sent to a secondary address that has been used in Coinbase and OKX to sell Bitcoins. So they have a main custodial address and a secondary custodial address. And you can see it here, the whole flowchart of all addresses, inflows and outflows. And Third, although the amount sold yesterday was insignificant compared to MicroStrategy's holdings, so it's about
Yeah,
60 million. They have like what, 5 billion, isn't it? Something like that in
yeah,
total.
yeah, but they are selling. We can't
Yeah,
say
they
that
are
they're not
selling.
selling.
Yeah, of course.
The guy just told you you don't sell Bitcoin. What, a week ago?
Yeah,
He told you you don't sell Bitcoin. He just sold.
yeah,
Like, you see, people, these like big CEOs, these hedge fund CEOs, CTOs, whatever you want to call them, they're going to tell you not to sell Bitcoin. It's always like that. It's the same narrative. Don't sell. We're going to go to the moon. It's 100K by the end of this year. We've got
yeah,
it. Like, this has been going on for over a year and a half now. And
yeah,
this dude is selling. I've said it 2 months ago. I said that he's gonna sell. He's gonna panic because he's gonna see that the price is going down, and he has his earning reports. These companies don't give a fuck, man. They have earning reports. They need to tell their investors that they have made this amount of money in this quarter. Okay, if they don't do that, their stock, like the share price, drops significantly. And what they do instead is that they sell their bitcoins for profits to like tell investors that they have made profits. It's that simple. Okay, like saying that Michael Saylor will never sell his Bitcoin. It's not true. It's not true. He didn't buy his Bitcoin to sleep on it.
yeah. And also like just like this guy pointed out, since they, make the Twitter post, oh, MicroStrategy has just bought such and such Bitcoin, and we now have an average price of whatever, right? Since they do these posts, they should do a post announcing that they sold too. It's like
Yeah,
only ethical to
they
do
never
so.
do that.
Yeah, of course they won't, but it's the ethical thing. And as this guy pointed out down here, apparently they don't even have to disclose if they sold, because, and I don't know if this is true, it just seems like an interesting article to read later. This one, here's why you shouldn't trust Michael Saylor.
Yeah. If like MicroStrategy back in 2001, back in 2000 or 2001, the stock price dropped more than a shitcoin. It dropped like 80 or 85%. Because what? Because Michael Saylor, he lied. He lied about his earning reports. He said that MicroStrategy has made profits when they were in losses. So if you trust this guy who has lied in the past, okay, people change, okay? Yeah, he cheated in the past, he's not gonna cheat now, okay? He lied in the past, he's not gonna lie now, okay? That could be the case. But this guy has lied in the past, okay? And you have to understand this idea that this guy is gonna sell. Like one day he's gonna sell. It's gonna happen. And it's happening now. I don't know, dude. Like this idea that Michael Saylor is the Lord of Bitcoin, he's the Satoshi Nakamoto 2.0 or whatever. He won't sell. He'll never sell. Why wouldn't he do so? Like he bought Bitcoin to make profit.
Yeah, exactly. At some point he needs to sell. And yeah,
Yeah, like yeah, Michael Saylor bought Bitcoin like because he believes in the project.
of course now, yeah, of course. He just wants to make money and that's it. So yeah, let's look at the second chart now. So the second chart was this one, which is basically, explaining it very, very superficially. If you go on TradingView, you have this little tool, which is the volume profile, right? So you can do how much volume was transacted at each point in price, and you have this here. And this is basically the on-chain version of it. So I think it's this one. So this one here, and you have long-term holders and short-term holders. But in this case right now, we would just be interested in short-term holders. So let me just toggle off all of the long-term holder stuff. And this is basically the on-chain volume profile for the short-term holders. Now, these kind of grayed out bars are where it decreased. So where people transferred their Bitcoin out, maybe sold them. Okay, and this is where they bought them. Okay, and we see a big spike here at 41.5K, and we see a big spike here at 43.5K. Now, let's go to a more up-to-date chart so we can use the index.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you another important chart. It's about like long-term holders and how they sold. Like I think it's a GIF or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
I hope you can open it.
Okay, so you can see here, basically, when we went up to around 43K, that meant a lot of resistance, especially because of this short-term holder spike here. So usually we see that the short-term holders spikes, they are like usually resistance, okay? And the long-term holder spikes, they are usually support. So we can see a bit of support here at 40K. And we can see most of the support lies below the current price. You know, of course, there's a lot of support at 0, right? The strongest support is at 0, but we see some spikes here and there at 27K, some spikes here at 40K, some spikes here at 37.5. And yeah, that's a chart just to keep watching. Okay, if you want to watch this just as you would watch the volume profile, this is a very interesting chart to watch. So yeah, where did you send me that?
I sent you. Yeah, I sent it on
Discord. Oh man, let's see if I can open it. Jesus, what is a JFIF, dude? What? How do you even
I have
get
no
these
idea.
files?
I just like download pictures from my Patreon and then I send them to you and they turn into GIF.
Oh man. Okay, let's see if I can open it. Open with. Oh, come on, I can't open it with Chrome.
You can't open it. Like I'll try to.
Done.
Okay, cool.
Now let me just close this window here so my computer doesn't explode.
Yeah, you see these spikes? These spikes refer to the like how am I going to explain it? Let me just explain it in a way that everybody like can grasp this idea. It shows how many like bitcoins have been sold from like long-term holders. Like for example, what the chart is showing, this chart shows the BTC spent output of 7 years to 10 years. This simply means that a big portion of long-term holders, like 7 to 10 years, like to 10-year accounts or like wallets in this case, sold off BTC during this rally. During like at about this was published. I published this on my Patreon when BTC's price was at about like 46.5K, and I say that like long-term holders that have been in the space since 2013, 2014, they are selling. They sold their BTC at this price. And so very long-term holders have like these guys usually have the highest convictions when it comes to the price action. And so them thinking that the price has found a new local top at 47 or at 48K is important in my opinion. And this is important to discuss, I think.
This chart, can you watch it for free? Because I know that Crypto Quant has a lot of free.
I don't think that this one is for free. I don't think that this one is for free.
That is too bad.
I'm not sure. Like I don't think that this one is for free.
Let's see, what's the title? Spent output age.
Like I have subscriptions overall. Like I forgot which one is free. And it's called like hold on, let me remember. It's called UTXO, I think. Yeah, UTXO. Realized price. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, you need
UTXO age bands.
I think you need subscription.
No, you just need to sign in, I think. Let's see. Okay. So you can create a free account.
Yeah. You can do that. Yeah.
Let's say. Yeah. And it has a little bit of lag, I think. I think it's 2 days of lag. And then you can just toggle off the rest of them.
You find it?
I found one which is just the line. It doesn't, use the columns.
It's kind of tough. Like, I forgot. I really forgot how I did it.
Uh,
Like,
let's say spent outfit age bands.
you can change the scale. Like,
Yeah, it's not the scale because this is, doing the cumulative sum, I think. And this one is just doing like at what day they sold, right? I'm not sure if I
Yeah,
explained it
yeah, I get
correctly.
it. Yeah. I got it. I don't know,
They-
but we can still like look at the chart.
Yeah, I just want to give people an idea of how they can. No, not this. Is it this one?
Not really.
Please
Should
tell
be.
me it's this one that I just clicked.
Fingers crossed. Nope.
Nope, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's not. It's not that one.
I mean, yeah, just look around, okay? Maybe you find it. I couldn't. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like chill. What do you expect?
Let's see. Oh, come on, dude. Come on. Come on. Maybe it's this one.
The guy that doesn't pay for his trading view subscription. I
Oh,
get
I'll never
600.
do it. Like after they ban it, like banished all my indicators, dude. Of course I'm not gonna do it. Why would I? You have to be a psycho to pay trading view. Yeah, it's this one. Oh, I
Yeah,
found it. I found it for
kind of.
free.
Yeah, kind of. I think
Huh.
it's not really showing everything. Like, can
Hmm.
you need to make it like the chart a little bit smaller, just so it can go back to 2017? If yeah, that should be
No, it
possible.
can't. It can't.
Yeah, that's not it.
Okay, okay. You guys can look for it. Okay, just look for a chart that looks kind of like this one on CryptoCon. Maybe you find it, maybe you don't. It's okay. So
Most likely
yeah.
it won't.
But at this point, it's what, almost 15 minutes. I don't think anybody's watching right now. Okay. What do you
Yeah,
have to talk about this chart?
probably some.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lots
probably
of
someone is watching.
long-term holders
Like
selling.
a guy that is bored to death. His wife is telling him to go do this shit. He's saying like, "No, I'm watching these like two kids talking about crypto."
All right, so yeah, this is also an interesting chart to watch if you guys have access to it. I couldn't find it, but yeah. Well, we covered a lot of stuff. I think
Look, it's
Mibin,
simple. You get a spike, the price drops. It's
yeah,
that simple.
yeah, that's that simple. Okay, so yeah, we covered a lot of stuff. We covered the newsletter, we covered indicators, charts, everything. So I think this is a good place to end it. If you're still here and you want access to all the newsletters, all of our contents, you can just go to the cryptogarden.io and you can sign up there to our Discord server, talk to us personally. You can read all of the past newsletters and we have classes and a lot of educational content just for you. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a nice day, evening, or night, and goodbye. Let me just stop recording and